What up, guys? Today we're going to be reviewing episode 17 of Dragon Ball Daima, and we're going to be going through what happened in this episode as a whole. This episode was actually pretty interesting. I know I've been kind of crapping on Dragon Ball Daima a little bit recently because some of the episodes haven't been up to par. The last episode wasn't horrible. It just wasn't, it didn't have enough things happening in that episode. I was hoping that there was going to be more. And I stated that last episode was more of a setup episode for this episode, and that was the case with this episode. Though this episode did have quite a bit of stuff, it did leave on a cliffhanger, and then it was going to continue on to something even more. And we're going to be continuing on to that big thing, but it at least started quite a bit of the story and the progression of it, the fight. It's starting to get to clearly to the end of the story as a whole. So I'm really happy about that. Last episode, like I said, it wasn't bad. It was just kind of there's some parts that I thought were a little bit low. But this episode was pretty much all action. So it starts off from the beginning of the last episode or the end of the last episode. So Goku and them, they're all ready to fight, and Goku and Vegeta are arguing a little bit about who's gonna fight first. And Vegeta's like, "Man, you should let me fight first." And Goku's like, "I'm gonna fight first." And it ended up being Goku versus Majin Buu. For some reason, Majin Buu thought he could get in, and Arisu was like, "Nope, stop. You're not strong enough." He's like, "But I'm pretty strong." And she's like, "You're not good enough." I felt like they could have had Vegeta fight Majin Buu. So like, if they both wanted to fight, they both could have fought. Even though Majin Buu is obviously not as strong as Majin Buu, he's at least would give him somewhat of a challenge. So he would have had something. But yeah, it was Goku and them fighting against each other. They also were trying to find out, why is she doing this? What is she doing? What's her plan? And she finally revealed her plan. Her plan is to use the Dragon Balls to strengthen the Demon Realm because they have gotten weak. So she wants to power up the Demon Realm. And this is something that they've been talking about quite a bit in this show, about how the living realm, they're way stronger than the Demon Realm. Even though the Demon Realm was the reason that the living realm was created and they were there first. But the reason that they were stronger is because, they would train more and they cultivated their ki and all this stuff. While these other guys, they didn't, even though they had their magic, they didn't try to work on improving their magic, and they don't have really training there. So they were kind of lacking behind, and she noticed that, and she was kind of disappointed in them. And I guess after seeing what Goku and his friends could do in the Majin Buu arc, she realized that, hey, Majin Buu terrorized the entire dimension, and these guys were able to take him out. Even though they struggle themselves, they are clearly way more powerful than us. And if we want to be, do something or be considered powerful, we need to, improve and get better, right? But she doesn't just want to, make them stronger, make them more tough. She also wants to have them be more tough so they can conquer the living realm and the rest of the, macrocosm, which makes sense. And Supreme Kai's like, you could have been using your genius to do good things. Why are you doing this to his sister? And she's like, I don't want to do good things. We're demons. We're supposed to be evil. We're supposed to be doing bad things. Why the hell would I be doing that? So that was her plan the entire time. So Goma, he just wanted to be king. Dexu, he wanted to use the Dragon Balls to be king. And she wants to be the ruler also, but her first goal and her main goal, especially with the Dragon Balls, was to amplify the demon realms, like, forces, to make them more powerful, more dangerous. And then she was going to take over the power of the throne and then conquer the realm. So I'm guessing what she was going to do is use the Dragon Balls to strengthen the demon realm, and then use her underhanded tactics of having Majin Buu kill uh either Goku and the crew, or have Goku and the crew fight Goma and beat him, and then have them killed once they're hurt or tired and stuff, and just have Majin Buu finish them off. So that was her plan. So she was gonna use Majin Buu, and she was trying to use Majin Buu at first, but Majin Buu at that point, and then have Goku and them all be in the mix, messing with each other to take each other out, and have her guys take them out completely. So then she can rule over the rain by doing so. So she's not going to waste the wish on that. She's going to use the wish to strengthen the demon realm, which makes sense because getting the seed of the throne, there's many other ways you can do it. Whereas, getting the whole dimension more powerful and the people there more powerful and more dangerous is a lot harder. So it would require something like the Dragon Balls. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of how militaries work, where they strengthen their armies, so their command and their leadership. And when they go on a conquest, obviously, if they're going to war or conquering someplace, they strengthen their army first and then they go. The only difference there is, with with armies and military leaders or just leaders in general, like kings or presidents and stuff like that, they usually get into power and then they strengthen it. Whereas she's strengthening them first and then trying to get into power because it's pretty much easy. So we now know what her plan is, which was pretty great. But even granola, not granola, uh, Grollo was like, "What the hell's happening?" He's like, "Why didn't she tell me this?" So I was wondering, I was like, "Is this part of their plan or something like that?" But I guess she just didn't give him a heads up. I don't know why. He works for you and he was undercover for you, so why wouldn't you tell him? But whatever. But yeah, so Majin Buu and Goku start fighting. Goku fights him pretty much most of the time at base. I don't know why. I was like, dude, power up. Like this guy is obviously able to handle you at base, and it makes sense because he was able to beat the Tamagami 1, and we already saw with Tamagami 2 how, uh, Vegeta had to go Super Saiyan 3 just to beat him, even though he was being powered up more by, by a Navi. It makes sense that he had to use a little bit more power, but still, he had to use quite a bit of power, and the Tamagami 1 should be even stronger, and he was able to handle that. So it didn't make any sense for Goku to fight him in base. And then he went to Super Saiyan only, and I was like, what are you doing? Transform like to Super Saiyan 2 at least, even if you're not gonna do Super Saiyan 3, which consumes too much energy. So I was like, okay, whatever. But they were going back and forth. It didn't look like Majin Buu was too overly like powerful. He was definitely pushing Goku, but Goku still had Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 3. And then Goma comes out, and he comes out, he's actually a giant. I knew he was big, but I didn't think he was that big. He was like legit a giant. So he comes out, he's grabbing onto the castle, getting up, and they're all like, "What the hell? What is he doing here?" And then they realize that he has the third eye, and he got a power amp, and now he jumps in, and it went in from Majin Buu versus Goku to literally uh everybody versus Goma. So Growler jumps in, Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, I think Shin jumps in. And then later on, both Majin Buu and Majin Ku also jump in to fight against him, uh, to work as a team against him because Goku's like, yeah, he's too powerful. And they all go at him, but he's able to handle them and he's showing his powers. It's pretty cool. He's also creates a stage. He's able to use telekinesis to grab the rocks around there. And he creates this big stage and it's like this weird effect that he's creating it. And he's now not only gotten stronger, but he's also amplified his magical power, which he has pretty much like just telekinesis. So he's grabbing everything and like creating the landform so he can create this new battle stage so they can go fight on there. And it was pretty cool. It was cool to see them all try to fight him at once and try to jump him. Also, when I was watching it, I was just like thinking about, the video games because nowadays, every time I see something from Dragon Ball, whether it's from the movies or the show or whatever, like any material that's not the manga, because for some reason they'll put the manga like characters and stuff in the games. But if it's like a show or something like that or a movie, I just watch it. I'm just like, how are they going to implement this in the next Dragon Ball game or in the previous ones like Xenoverse 2 and stuff. So when I saw that fight, I was like, this is literally a giant boss battle. One, he's a giant boss. Two, he created his own stage. And then three, you have multiple people attack him at once. Definitely at some point in the future, you're gonna have Goma, and then you're gonna have his super powered form, and then you're gonna have this battle stage in the demon realm, and then you're gonna have all these characters selecting to fight him either like the story mode where you're gonna have to play as the specific characters, or you can play online and pick whatever characters. But I was like, this reminds me of like a game. They literally set up the stage and then had the powered form and his final boss battles, self, and then also him being a giant. So it's like a giant a boss battle also. So I was like, that's what they're trying to go for. But I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. The fight was pretty good. He was actually doing pretty good of holding his own. There was only one problem that I had, which they kind of like did towards the ending, but I thought was kind of dumb. But yeah, as they were fighting, they're pretty much getting washed. He's whooping their asses. He's doing a bunch of different stuff. He's holding his own. They keep on trying to blast him. He's blasting it away. Oh, I also forgot Tamagami 1 also jumped in because now he's like, go in, man, just go. So he jumped in and they were helping out Goku and stuff. Both Majin Buu and Tamagami 1 were protecting him from a blast from Goma. And Goma looked like he was going to push back at some points, but he was messing around and he was just playing them the entire time. He was bodying them, which is good because before this, there's no way in hell he would have been able to do anything. He should have been too weak, but with the third eye, since it hasn't been explained how much power it gives them or to what extent, and we haven't seen anybody elsewhere to what capabilities they had, so we can't go based off of them. All we can just say is that it'll give you an astronomical jump in power, and that it would make sense that he'll be able to beat him because there's no reference that we can go based off of that would say otherwise. But yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty fun to see. But the only problem I had is, why is Goku and Vegeta both in Super Saiyan 1? Just jump into Super Saiyan 3. You can handle him better there. Even if you can't beat him in Super Saiyan 3, at least jump into that. They took quite a bit of time to jump into Super Saiyan 2, and I'm like, come on, Goku, just go in Super Saiyan 3. Like, yeah, I get it. He's such a threat that they all have to jump him at once, but that would only really matter account if they were all going all out, you know? If you're going all out, then it's like, yeah, obviously you need to work together. But if you're holding back anyway, it's like, well, you could have just gone all out and let's see what you would have been able to do. And Goku waits all the way till the end when he gets straight up beaten, battered, is completely destroyed, and it looks like he's about to lose and get crushed and stuff and had to get saved. Then he goes Super Saiyan 3, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, man? You could have gone this earlier. So yeah, we get him to go Super Saiyan 3 at the ending. So we finally got to see Kid Goku go Super Saiyan 3, and his Super Saiyan 3 does look different than Vegeta's. The hair, it looks exactly the same as adult Goku, just as a kid. So I'm guessing Vegeta's Super Saiyan 3 form is just its own looking design compared to Goku's, which it would be cool and make sense if it didn't, if we didn't see like somebody like, Gotenks who had just the same hair design and style as Goku. That's where it kind of ruins it, right? So like if it was like, oh, they all, when they go Super Saiyan 3, they have their own unique versions of it or unique styles a little bit here and there. I would have been like, okay, that's cool. But then we see both Goku and Gotenks having the exact same style, so that kind of ruins that. But it was cool to see. Oh yeah, Goku also lost his bag with the bugs there, so they couldn't heal. So he had to go Super Saiyan 3. But I'm just like, why did Vegeta just go Super Saiyan 3? Why didn't they both go Super Saiyan 3? People always give Goku shit saying he holds back and Vegeta goes all out. But Vegeta clearly was holding back because we know he can go Super Saiyan 3, but he didn't. So I felt like, yeah, they needed to jump him. But then again, when he didn't go Super Saiyan 3, so how will we know that he really needed that? And yeah, I know it consumes energy, but still, Vegeta used it against Tamagami too, who's far less of a threat than this guy, so it doesn't really make any sense in that regard. And then when you see the preview for the next episode, it seems like Goku's actually holding his own pretty well. Goku might be, I want to say he was completely dominating in that one, but he was doing decent enough. And it's like, well, if you both went Super Saiyan 3 with everybody, you could have done great. Why did you wait until everybody else is knocked out and your ass is pretty much beaten up and now you're doing it? I just felt like that was kind of dumb, in my opinion, at least. I felt like they could have just jumped in terms of power quicker, but whatever. It was a good episode anyway. And next episode, he's gonna be fighting him in Super Saiyan 3. And Majin Buu is not really a big threat at this point. Maybe they might fuse later on. Who knows? We know that there was the leak about the fusion. It might be like a case where Goku and Vegeta Super Saiyan 3 actually beat Goma. And as they beat Goma, they take the third eye from him and he's defeated, but then it's like back to fighting as Majin Buu and Majin Buu. And Majin Buu, Majin Buu, even though Goku and Vegeta have been like depleted of energy because they went into a higher form of power, it might be like, well, yeah, that's the case, but you guys are also damaged. And unlike you guys, they're way more powerful, so they just have fuse. So maybe we might see that, and we might see Goku and Vegeta fuse because they might not be able to handle that. But who knows? But yeah, right now, um, there's literally only 3 more episodes left. There's 18, 19, and 20. Yeah, there's only 3 more episodes left, and then the show's done. I felt like a lot of parts were slowed, but this episode was good. I just felt like they could have spent more time on this if they just cut down everything else. But whatever, it's too late at this point. I'm just happy that they're getting onto the big stuff and we're finally going to see the real fights. And Goma actually is able to give some pushback. He's not completely a chump. But yeah, I just wish that they would have gone Super Saiyan 3 already first, because then it would have shown more of his power. It's easier to say, oh yeah, he's strong when he's beating them when they're holding back than it is when they're going all out and needing help to do it, you know? But yeah, I'm really excited, and I just can't wait to see what's gonna happen in the next 3 episodes and how the show ends. They might not have the Majin Raimus show up, but hopefully they do. Maybe they might explain more about him, but who knows? But yeah, they're pretty much wrapping it up at this point. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for next time.